Silent Hill F is nothing like what I experienced in gaming before. This game is truly unique and one of its kind. When Konami announced 3 Silent Hill games as part of their revival for this series, one game always stood out to me compared to the rest. One game truly had a unique tone to it, one game that was doing something different, and that game was Silent Hill F. A quick disclaimer, what you will see in this video is from my first run, so I will not feature any footage from the new game plus. Before playing Silent Hill F, I always knew what this series was, but never truly dipped my toes in it. I kept hearing from people how disturbingly brilliant these games were, and apart from trying more of the recent titles and the excellent PT, I did not consider this series to be what I was looking for in survival horror games. That is until I played the remake of Silent Hill 2. That game changed my view of everything and it was truly a remarkable experience. So when I saw Konami putting in the effort to try to revive this franchise with many good looking games, Silent Hill F always stood out to me as the most interesting one. I finished the game recently and I gotta say, this experience was not what I expected. I thought Silent Hill F would be a game about surviving the horrors in a small 60s inspired Japanese town. And yes, this is what the game is. But the story and the themes is what makes it differ. After seeing the main character being a teenage student, I thought they might go the route of cliche paint by the numbers story with how bullying can affect people. I was completely wrong. And the gameplay, it is much more of a combat heavy game than I expected. While we're talking about the gameplay, let's dive deep into it. The gameplay in this game seems to be a divisive one. Many gamers liked what they did, and many thought it was jarring. But nearly everyone agreed that it is clunky and did not feel great to fight off monsters. Like I said before, I did not expect this game to be combat heavy and honestly thought the gameplay was addicting and fit what the game was going for. In this game, you can only have melee weapons, no guns, no ranged weapons, nothing like that, only items you can hold and swing at your enemy. Being a game that is set in Japan in the 60s, this makes so much sense. These weapons can be a pipe, a baseball bat, a knife, a sledgehammer, a sickle, and so on. The game was continuously encouraging you to fight off monsters compared to Silent Hill 2's more passive take on the combat. I do agree that the character movement can be sluggish and unresponsive at times, but the whole action gameplay really spoke to me. I honestly enjoyed the combat here. Yes, it is not the most detailed and well executed combat ever, but it served its purpose, and I was actively looking to beat up these monsters because the rhythm of it felt addicting to me. You have a stamina bar that will deplete every time you swing your weapon, run away from monsters, and dodge attacks. This stamina bar made me play the game a bit more carefully. I really like this aspect as every fight became a challenge and not easy to deal with. Even if I like the gameplay, the dodging mechanic and the amount of weapons you get seems a bit over-exaggerated and did not fit a teenage girl's image. She was dodging these enemies' attacks as she was Spider-Man or Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, anyway, you know what I mean. Thanks to many items scattered around the map, you can use them to your advantage. There are food items for your health, stamina and sanity. And all of these items come in the shape of traditional Japanese food, medicines or drinks, which I appreciate that detail of the game a lot. If you are wondering what the sanity meter is, it's a mechanic that acts as your focus bar. By pressing the button designated for sanity, you can focus on the enemy's attacks, see when to counterattack and deliver a large blow to them. Each hit will deplete the weapon durability, so carrying multiple weapons is encouraged. And the more sanity you use, the more your grasp on reality will deplete, leading you to slowly lose your health. This mechanic was quite unique and came in handy while fighting these monsters. Later on in the game, you will get the Fox Arm as a combat option, which made the game feel super action heavy and broke reality. I know those segments were more fantastical and the meaning of it within the context of the story made complete sense, but from a gameplay standpoint, it was over the top. Yes, I absolutely loved how it played, just wrecking these enemies left, right and center with powerful blows, but saying that though, it was ridiculous and broke my immersion at times. Like any survival horror game, Silent Hill F features puzzles. Reading vague messages, figuring out puzzles to unlock secret upgrades or progress in the story hit the sweet spot. The ones we got were good, but I can't shake the feeling of not having enough puzzles. That is what I would have wanted more. I always get a kick out of them. Saying that, a couple of them were a bit hard on this game, and made me spend more time on them more than I would have liked. Luckily, for players who are struggling, the game offers different difficulty options for puzzles and combat. The game also features exploration. Not super deep like Silent Hill 2 or Resident Evil games, but it is still there. Exploring the map and the 60s style houses was amazing. Being in a time period that is rarely explored brought joy to me, and it felt like they executed the designs accurately. It made me immersed in the game a lot, and I would say that this is a job done well. Plus, The other world segments being in a Japanese mythology setting was so unique, but I did prefer the realistic town over those moments. The little details, finding treasures to upgrade your skills in shrines, and charms to enhance your abilities made exploring a joy even if I felt scared in out of tense moments. The letters and notes that are scattered around the map helped build the game and made me understand the story even better. So I would really encourage you to explore as much as you can. The enemies in this game, what the hell? They were really creepy, vicious, and disgusting.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Like Silent Hill 2, they all represented something that is connected to the game's themes. Gameplay wise, they weren't a challenge. The normal enemies went down after 3 hits, but the bosses obviously took more time and hits to defeat. The design on all monsters were creative, but I wish the boss battles were handled better. They felt a bit too repetitive for my taste. The graphics in this game though is stellar. Everything looks really good and super detailed. The character models are lifelike, and I will even say that they are some of the best I have seen. The mouth movements are uncanny at times, but they really make these characters as real as possible with a lot of details, which I really loved. The lighting in this game made every scene more tense. Just seeing a light peek through the setting filled with fog made me sweat a lot. I played Silent Hill F on performance mode, and it was mostly a smooth experience. At times there were some frame dips, but nothing crazy. I was happy with how it ran, but it did crash on me once, which was super annoying, as I was in the middle of a boss battle. That really pissed me off. But it was only one time, so I will let it go. The thing that bothered me the most was that goddamn metal pipe being in every cutscene as my weapon. Even if I'm carrying a knife or a crowbar in the gameplay, once it cuts to a cutscene, it goes back to being a metal pipe. Like, come on dude, you couldn't have rendered or scanned that item for cutscenes? The outfit in the cutscene stays the same as the one in the gameplay, but the constant weapon changing actually annoyed me. It's a really small nitpick, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it really bothered me. Okay, the gameplay and what the game offers overall were well executed, but it wouldn't be a Silent Hill game without a story that is deep, vague, and outright weird. Now, for me to talk about the story and the characters, I will have to use some spoilers. I won't be talking about any endings or reveal any outcomes. I know a lot of people have played this game, but there are also many others who haven't. I am just trying to be fair here. Silent Hill F follows a high school student called Hinako Shimizu. The game is set in a 1960s Japanese town as she experiences a supernatural outbreak that plagues the town in fog and unleashes monstrous creatures. This setting and premise alone makes Silent Hill F a unique one. All other Silent Hill games have been set in Western countries and modern times, but to see one that takes Japan and the time frame as inspiration for the story, the themes and its characters was a very smart choice, and I absolutely loved it. This story in this game is actually really amazing. At the core of everything, the game explores and delves into themes of societal and family pressure, trauma, and betrayal. Using 2 roles as a way to express Hinako's inner turmoil and different ways of thinking in the events that she was thrown into makes so much sense once you know what is actually going on. The constant rituals, the changes in her appearance, and the horrifying things she experiences and inflicts on others makes this story a study of identity loss and the psychological decay of someone who was never prepared for the weight placed upon them. The themes of what being a woman in 60s Japan and how the society and your own family expects you to behave is explored so hauntingly well. It really opened my eyes and realized the constant pain women had to go through in history. Obviously, this game over-exaggerates it, but the underlying story is quite realistic in its nature. The whole story being a hallucination and a mind labyrinth for Hinako to navigate through on her wedding day was an unexpected plotline for me. We never see the wedding or what she does, but what you play is a metaphor for those events and it mirrors what is actually happening in real life. The ending is sad and gruesome, that is if you have only played the game one time. To unlock other endings, you need to play it at least 3 more times. I only finished 1 run of New Game Plus and I couldn't play anymore. I like this game, but playing it 4 times just to see different endings and some slight changes in dialogue and cutscenes wasn't worth my time. So I watched the endings on YouTube and seeing the complete picture makes it so much more sense. The story we got in the first run felt really satisfying to me, and the default ending felt more in line with what the game was about. You can't always have happy endings. The characters in this game is so believable. Hinako as the lead works so much as she brought this youthfulness to a story that is dealing with mature themes. Her friends Shu, Rinko and Sakuko plays a major part in the story and serve their purpose. Their faces were done in a way that is not suitable in this video and it shocked me a lot. The Fox Mask character, representing Hinako's more mature side, and what he brought to the story really elevated this narrative a lot. And lastly, I need to praise every actor in this game. Konatsu Kato as Hinako is so bloody good, and her best performance nomination at the Game Awards is so well deserved. I played my first one in Japanese and second in English. Obviously, Japanese is the way to go. English was good, but you can't beat a native language that is set in its country of origin. Overall, Silent Hill F is a very good game, but it could have been better. What I loved about it was how different it felt. The 1960s Japan setting and the themes represented for that time period is explored beautifully. The story, even at times too vague, makes so much sense by the end, and the actors portraying these characters were really believable. For me, the combat worked, even if it was janky at times, but saying that I wish the game chilled a bit in certain parts. Getting attacked constantly started to get on my nerves. Lastly, I have to give props to Konami and Neobars Entertainment. What they have made will forever be a unique take on a survival horror game, and I really enjoyed my time with it. My score for Silent Hill F is an 8.5 out of 10. So, let me know down below, what do you think of Silent Hill F, and how does it compare to other games in the franchise? As always, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see everyone on the next video.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?